Hi guys, Rich from Mode. This week we got the review of the brand new Allett Cambridge 43. But what's this Atco Balmoral 20S doing here? Stay around, find out. So last week we were at the RHS Malvern Spring Show and we were lucky enough that Allett sent us their brand new Allett Cambridge 43 lawnmower to put on the stand, and it attracted quite a lot of attention. A few of my favourite comments: "Now that's a proper mower," and I think my favourite for the week was, "No, I'm not a lawn care enthusiast, I'm an engineer, but that's a well-made mower." And it made me think, what are the differences between the brand spanking new Allett Cambridge 43 and my old Atco Balmoral 20S? Not as many as you may think, but it differs importantly in some areas. Well, to start with, we know that this is part of Allett's battery range, and inside here you're going to find a Greenworks battery that is going to last you 30 to 40 minutes of cutting, depending on kind of the incline you're cutting on, how fast you're going, and the kind of how hard the cylinder's having to work to cut that grass. So it's a 4 ampere battery. We've got 40 volts in there, and this is one of them. These are retailing for around £269. I'll put the price up here. So if you need more cut time, you can always just get another one. And I actually really like the idea of this little red key. It's basically just a fuse. You take that out, no one's going to start it accidentally for the kids running around, but that fits in rather nicely on top of there, so you got no fumes to worry about. You don't have to refuel the lawnmower. Don't know about you, I'm always worried about the petrol leaking out and running down the roller and onto the grass, but that is going to do 92 decibels, so it is really quite quiet, which means you can cut a little earlier, a little later, and you won't annoy Alan Titchmarsh quite so much by cutting on a Sunday. One of the other features we got here is the cassette system. Like many of the modern lawnmowers now, cylinder mowers, you can take out the cassette and replace it with many others. There's an aerator, scarifier, dethatcher, there's the tine rake, there's the brush, and there's also the 10-bladed cylinder. And if you're going to be moving below 20 millimeters on any of Allett's mowers, then you want to put in the 10-blade cylinder so you can improve the clip rate, so you don't get that washboarding effect. But for most domestic lawns, the 6-bladed cylinder is absolutely plenty. And while we're talking cutting height, a really easy, simple adjustment knob on the back and the indicator on the right. Now the indicator has changed slightly. Instead of the 1, 2, 3, 4, we've actually got the cutting heights on there now, and this mower will go up to 32 millimeters and no more. That may be one of the considerations. If you don't get to cut your lawn for a couple of weeks at a time, you may need another, maybe a rotary mower, to get that height down before you start using your Cambridge lawnmower again. But once you've got it down, this lawnmower will go down to 6 millimeters. So actually a brilliant idea for your amateur sports clubs, and definitely cutting the square. Maybe not the wicket, but definitely the square. So the clip rate on this lawnmower is 72 cuts per metre, and we all know that the Allett Cambridge is the battery equivalent of the Allett Kensington 17B. One of the most important design features about this lawnmower for me is that Allett have thought about previous owners and what they may already own. If you have an RC43 cartridge, it will fit into the new Cambridge, so you don't have to get rid of all those cartridges you've built up over the year and have to buy new ones. Weighing just 41 kilos, it's really easy to lift in and out of the car like we've been doing this week, getting it to Malvern and back, and really easy to move it around, but still has enough weight and that it'll put a nice stripe into your lawn. One of my favourite features of this mower, it might sound odd, but it is indeed the grass net or the grass box. You can see that it's mesh. What Allett is saying is that allows the air to pass through and it'll collect more of the grass instead of creating this vortex here where the grass misses the basket. You'll get more grass in the basket, which means less grass on your lawn, and as we all know, the less dead grass on your lawn, the less thatch levels you will have. And when you couple that with one of the springtime cassettes every month, then your lawn will be in immaculate condition right throughout the growing season. It's also super light, and there's no lip on the front as well, so when you're emptying it into your grass box or your compost, you don't get that annoying build up right behind the lip, and it slots on so easily right on top. It's a brilliant design feature. So you've got a cutting width of 17 inches on this lawnmower, and at the back here we have 6 different speeds ranging from really slow right up to really a nice good stroll. Cutting height of this lawnmower is from 6mm up to 32mm, but what I like most about it is it is stepless. So as you adjust the height, it just gradually increases or decreases the height of it. There's no step change as you go, which can really help if you're going to be very particular about how you lower the height of your grass down to those lower heights. 17-inch cutting width means that this can easily do lawns up to 450 square metres, maybe up to 600 square metres as well if you have a spare battery or you're just cutting regularly and not putting the battery under too much of a workload. But one of my favourite design features, again, underneath this front roller here, is that we have a grooming rake, much like you see on my old Atco, and that's great for 2 reasons. It's going to stand up the grass, it's going to create less of those runners going sideways, and that will also help improve the kind of vividness of the stripes that you're putting in. And while we're talking about the stripes, steel roller front and a split steel roller at the back means that you're going to be rolling that grass nice and tight to the floor. And again, if you want a really popping stripe with this mower, you can just go over it a second time. So the other difference between this and the Allett is how quick it is to change the cartridge. Just going to show you, got 2 Allen bolts inside, which again you'll find on the Atco, but that one's gone. This one's gone. But unlike the others, you don't have to take the side out. So now the whole cartridge just pops out. That's how quick it is to change out for verticutting, for the springtime rake, and just how it drops in so quickly. Just thread those bolts in there and then do them up again with your Allen key. You don't get much quicker than that. You get a little bit quicker if you're going to get the Sterling. Of course, you've got the quick release handles there, but that is how quick it is to change the cylinder. As well, if you're a tall chap like me, 6'2", this is probably a little bit low for me, but I have got 3 adjustments on the side where I can bring this up a little bit higher, and that actually is a much more ergonomic, much more comfortable height for me to cut at than, say, my old Atco. So starting this lawnmower, obviously no pull cords like the petrol. You have the switch on the side that you'll depress in, and as soon as you pull the this lever here, you're going to start the blade spinning, and you can see the fact that I can still talk to you now, the blade spinning nice and freely and really quietly. And the second I engage the drive here, as I move the speed down, it reduces the speed that the roller moves, and as I move along, you see how quiet that actually is. So that's a quick breakdown of the new Allett Cambridge mower. These are retailing at the moment for around about £2,100. I've seen some dealers with a few offers on at the minute if you're lucky. But why is the Allett mower here? Well, let's cut the lawn and discuss that. Okay, so Allett have sent us this mower. It's in pristine condition, actually first one off the production line as well, I believe. So I want to send it back in just as good nick. So like I don't do when I'm using my Atco, because I'm quite a lazy cutter, I'm just going to go around and make sure I move any of these sticks and twigs. They fall out of these trees. Trees look nice, but you don't want to catch a stone, stick or twig into the cylinder, because you cause a bit of bending of the bed knife, and even this twisted willow, which is quite a weak thin branch, could just get wrapped up in the cylinder. So just get into the habit of going around and having a quick look. I don't have any stones in this garden, so we're all right. And then starting this one, I'm going to turn it down to kind of, let's go for number 2 to start with, pushing this button in on the side and then pulling the cylinder on top, and we're away. I think I'll turn that up. There we go. We'll go around here at full pace, see what that looks like. There we go. I like the grass basket on this. It's actually collecting loads. I can see all the grass is actually, it's hard to describe, it actually goes to the back of the basket instead of just sitting at the front and kind of going around and not trying to find a way out. It's properly bedded in the back of the basket, so I can see how that works already. But this mower feels planted. I've got one hand on it, it feels heavy enough that it's going to stay in a straight line, but nimble enough because of that split rear roller that it's going to make a really nice cut. So that's the perimeter done. Let's go and cut the rest of the lawn. So there we go, I've cut the front lawn, I've cut the back lawn, about 200 square metres of lawn altogether. I actually cut the back lawn twice and the front lawn twice, and just by pressing this on the back, I've still got half a battery left. So that is plenty of battery. I must admit, one of my main concerns about going electric is how long will the battery last. For me, that is absolutely plenty. Now, if I was using a scarifying cassette, verti cutting, I'm going to get less out of it. But all I need to do is pop it on charge for an hour and 45 minutes, have a cup of tea, come back, do a bit more, or buy a second battery if I really want to go at it, if I was an amateur sports club, for instance. But that has done 2 cuts front and back, so 450 square metres. Very light cutting, but we've still got about half a battery left. And you'll see by the stripes, this lawn has no right to look this good this time of year. We scarified the hell out of it a couple of weeks ago, and it is still very much. The Allett has made really light work of it and put those stripes in 2 cuts, yes, but it's just so light, it's planted. I put it on a straight line and it just wants to stay on that line. The split rear roller meant turning at the end was on a 6pence, and there's no damage to the turf, and I could really see this grass catcher working brilliantly. I'll tell you what, how I can tell is the grass is piling right up the back of the grass catcher. So that's how I know that all the air is going through and it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. You've all been watching, so why is the Atco Balmoral in this video alongside the Allett? Well, there are some design features that you're going to recognise. When we were at the RHS last week, we had plenty of people come by saying, oh, Allett, I love the new Allett, but I've got an old Atco, and quite often they're Balmorals, but I've got an old Atco, it's brilliant, oh, it's so good, and it's petrol, and the cut quality, and it's really heavy. I love that, but I want to buy that now, because there's nothing that offers that doesn't. Some of the design features that are carried forward, you can see the side here that covers all the gears and the pinions, very similar, identical design in here, so you'll feel comfortable with that. And then when we look at the back of the mower as well, the height adjusters on the back are all very nearly the same design. The only difference is, instead of the 1, 2, 3, 4 height indicator on there, you actually get indication of the height you're cutting on that one. So you'll see a lot of design features that are similar to it, and this is why it's here. I want to compare Allett's new Cambridge 43 battery to my old Balmoral 20S petrol, and which one, given the choice this summer, will I be cutting my lawn with? It'll be that one, and I won't have any regrets about it whatsoever. Thanks for watching again this week. Hope you've liked the video of the brand new Allett Cambridge mower. Give us a thumbs up, like the video and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and you'll hear about all our other videos that are coming out over the next few months. Let us know which mower you want us to review next. But if you want to see more equipment reviews, then you can click down here on this playlist. But if you want to see how to keep the weeds down this spring, then you can click up here.